Salibonani, greetings. Welcome to the Girls Table Talk Show, a show that gives young women a platform to participate in civic and decision-making processes. And today we want to talk about our councillors, understand the roles and responsibilities of councillors, and understand how do we track the work of our councillors in our communities. I am your host, Bekezela Mguni.
Salibonani, mina kuthiwa ngumnumzana Teddy Ncube.
Ibizo lami Paida Dandadzi. Ngihlala khonapha Bulawayo. I'm a motivational speaker, a disability inclusion practitioner, as well as a makeup artist and an MC as well.
Salibonani, ibizo lami nguSizalobuhle Ndlovu. Mina ngisuka eSoborn Park. Ngiyi-youth nje ethe ngifike lapho. Yabo.
Thank you for having you ladies. Ngizaqala ngani before sizwe umnumzana uNcube ngoba nguye osiphetheyo namhlanje, nguye okwazi kahle indaba zabo councillor, but I want to understand from you guys ukuthi nxa sikhuluma ngo-councillor, what do you understand? Ukhethwa njani ucouncillor?
The whole process my councillors, I know there are PR councillors and kusiya phezulu. And seeing ukuthi umuntu akwanisa councillor, I think umuntu kumele abe active in the community, abe youth or a person who is very active or partakes in everything that happens in the community. Representing people, being the voice ebantwini emhlanganweni, starting from ward residential meetings laphana kusiya phezulu, and making sure ukuthi nxa kulama issues ebe yi-whistleblower as well, nxa kulama issues abe khona in the community ebe nguye, like as I said, being the voice of the community to those who are voiceless. Engathi kathese ngikuba ucouncillor ngifuna ukumela abantu, people will nominate that person through imisebenzi yakhe abeyenza e-community.
Alright. Yeah, yikho khona okuthiwa nguPaida ukuthi umuntu kumele akhanyele umphakathi ukuthi kuhamba njani, ebe yi-watchdog. Yonke into eyenzakala emphakathini ebetshela ngala residents, ebachasisela ukuthi kuhamba njani. I believe ukuthi ucouncillor mele engakakhethwa mele ebe ncedisa laye. Encedisa njengokuthi njengama youth so esibize sonke, esitshela into zokwenza emphakathini, esichasisele, ebencedisa lezalukazi ngapha, abantu abadala lani ebatshele into zokwenza, njengabantu abadala kade sebehlezi nje emphakathini, ucouncillor sengabancedisa ngokuthi ebabize, ebafundisa into zokwenza, kungaba into zezandla, into ezinjani. Yabo.
Thank you so much. Mnumzana uGumede, ngicela ukuthi usichazele ukuthi nxa sikhuluma ngo-councillor sikhuluma ngani. The ladies have said what they think, but njengoba ngitshela ukuthi ngosiphetheyo, do you have anything to add? Ucouncillor yini? Ukhethwa njani? Ngubani ukuthi hayi lo nxa setheni ufuna ukuba ngucouncillor simbone ukuthi yes kuyahambisana la ukuthi simbize ukuba ngucouncillor?
Hayi, ngumnumzana Ncube, hathi uGumede. Kodwa kungasenani. Ucouncillor umuntu oqhakathekileyo kakhulu, olemsebenzi eminingi kakhulu, but imisebenzi yakhe ikaningi. Kulama duties kaCouncillor aprescribewa ngumthetho, owokuthi kuyavuka ivacancy yokuthi ofuna ukuba ngucouncillor uzayenza lokhu la lokhu yani. Thina sikhangela kakhulu how ucouncillor interprets ama-duties akhe is prescribed, for example, by the Constitution, by the council bylaws, and by any instrument esetshenziswa ku-governance, like or ama-good governance standards, international best practices, local best practices. So ungakhangela kakhulu i-role ka-councillor is that of representing the local constituents by constituents lapha sengikhuluma ngeward level ukuthi ama-interests abantu abaphansi. Yikho khangela ukuthi ukansila nguyo connected kakhulu lezakhamizi. Nguyo khangela ukuthi izakhamizi izibi zabo zihambile. Nguyo khangela ukuthi izakhamizi imigwaqo i-right. Nguyo khangela izinto ezinjengabo sewer system. I-service delivery at the very local level. Uyakhangela futhi ezinye izinto ongeke wazicabangela nxa zingakaku-affect. Like siyake sibone kithi khonapho kansila kashode emfeni. Nguyo facilitate ukuthi kuyaba lamabhentshi kungafiwa sesilaphana eCountry Park or sise Luveve. Noma labadala bahamba betshela ukansila afonele kulamabhawa eCity Council sokuthathwa amabhentshi sesiyancedisa khonale. Ziningi izinto. So ukansila yena uactor as i-go-to person, i-focal person ye-community lohulumende. Nxa sithi uhulumende in this case siqalisela ku-local government. I-local government antsho sile central government sibe le local government. I-local government yona le BCC, Bulawayo City Council, Harare City Council, Gweru City Council, Cholocho Rural District Council, kuqansa Plumtree Town Council kusehla kusiya khonale. So ukansila yena i-representative ye-local government. I-local government representa the central government.
Before vele even siqala ukuthi siyekhuluma kakhulu ngokuthi uyasirepresenta kwathi kanjalo ngifuna uqala ngizwisisa ukuthi do these young women know who they are councillors? I'm not really talking to you per se, but ngikhulumela ukuthi do young people know they are councillors ezindaweni esibuya kizo? Because wena sokungenzeka ukuthi you are that exposed uyamazi, but normally do people know they are councillors? Do we know that our councillors ukhuluma ukuthi bayabuya emncwabeni siyake sibabone yini?
Okay, ama-councillors aziwa ngama-youth, but kungasenani abengaso wonke ama-youth endaweni. Why am I saying that is mostly ama-youth asiwo bonke aba-engageayo ezintweni lezi. Asibo bonke, but what I have seen, especially in Country Park, Ward 28, where I stay, ama-youth, like councillors, the current ones, labanye abade befuna ukuba ngama-councillor, they would call a meeting, and how did they manage ukuba lu ama-youth bahambe? It was through what the youth want. Most of the youth bathanda izinto ezi-recreational, in whatever, as long as it's something that is entertaining to them. Befundiswa about, betshelwa about ukuthi kwenzakalani esigabeni sabo, because ama-youth, we are the future. Yithe sihamba phambili ngebhora. Kodwa kungasenani, not all the youth know, because ama-youth afuna ukuluwa. They want to be lured. Ukuncenga, ukukhonjiswa ukuthi bebuye emhlanganweni or in anything that happens in the community. But there are other youth, ama-youth are active, akhona, and they are there. They are working very hard. Like I come from Country Park. There is Sizalobuhle Ndlovu. She's an aspiring councillor. You know, she's a young person as well. We've got a few young people from Kulumane. You know her, right? Okona lapha eNkulumane. He wants to be a councillor. He's an aspiring councillor as well. So at some point we see, to some extent, that's where my point is, to some extent, ama youth, they know councillor wabo. They partake izinto ezenzakala ku community to some extent, but not all of them, because abanye the black kula mali phakathi so, you know, but some of them, they're very passionate with it.
I have a question for you, but let me hear what Caesar has to say, because the question yami ukuthi you said sifuna ukudonswa, uthe wena sifuna ukukhonjiswa ukuze sithi partake in these things. So umbuzo wami usekuthi nini, who is to blame? Do we have enough information? Do we know ukuthi ukansila wenzani? But let's hear what Caesar has to say.
Thina ama-youth sifuna ukudonswa. Vele abanye abakwazi lokuthi umuntu omele ekhanyele i-community ngubani. Vele abakwazi abanye bezwa bethinga ukuthi khathesi kugcwele izibi akunama street lights ale njenge-Sizalobuhle Park akulani, but vele abakwazi ukuthi kumele uye ku-councillor. So lapha I think kukabili. I think u-councillor nguye yena ongaziveziyo, ongabuyiyo ezivezi ukuthi hayi lapha ewadini yami kumele ngalifuna into enje, lifuna ngiyilenzele into enje, buyanini kimi. Abakwazi ukuthi vele u-councillor yena kumele bemlande njani. Ngokubona kwami I think kukabili ukuthi ngapha ukuthi u-councillor uloku ungazivezi. Plus ukuthi ama-youth wona besuka bethi hayi lokho ayisikho, akukho ezandleni zethu ngokwabantu abadala, thina asingeni indawo lapho bona bapho ngifuna ukuthi into ilunge. Ngokubona kwami.
I have a question, Siza, ngicela ukuthi ungamqamba ukuthi u-councillor wakho mba, but uyamazi yini u-councillor we-Sizalobuhle Park? Ngiyabonga. Mnumzana, ngizama ukuthi ngi-understand ukuthi do they know o-councillor babo? When from the work that you do, uthe uyi-political scientist, do you think abantu as young people siyamazi u-councillor wethu or sizihlalele nje asikwazi u-councillor, asikwazi ukuthi usebenzani?
Mina, I'm of the view that we can't blame the people, rather we blame our councillor. The reason why our councillor begcina behle uku-leader from the front is because they are leading on the wrong issues. U-councillor kumele yena alide abantu, but abantu should be doing what they are doing. U-councillor nguye omele atshintshe ayenze okwenziwa ngabantu, not abantu betshintshe benze okwenziwa ngu-councillor. And you find right now kuyabe kulo councillor oleminyaka God knows ukuthi ingaki and ama-preferences akhe. It's true ukuba ngu-councillor kathesi, it's something wokuthi you are known for uku-attend izimfa, those boring meetings, and our age groups siyabe sifuna u-councillor siyabe simbone poster ku-Instagram. They are not posting ku-Instagram, but the larger population of ama-youth aku-Insta, aku-Facebook, aku-Twitter. Abantu ama-policies these days are criticized ku-Twitter, and ukhangele koBulawayo o-councillor baku-Twitter and with the influence that they can have. So I think ama-issues, defining ama-issues ku-community ikho lapho kule problem khona. U-councillor uyadefine awakhe ama-issues, abantu abalidayo bedefine awabo ama-issues, and u-councillor uyabehambe kuma-council chambers laphana bedebate okwabo ukuthi ungabuza kathesi. If you ask the burning issues ezenzakala kuma-council chambers, an average youth may not know the projects that are being implemented by the council kathesi kuma-council chambers. Even i-position ye-council on ukuhamba kwamanzi, antsho bahamba behlala bengu-28 bese besitha kula manzi. U-councillor lo councillor abuyele le message esiyayitshela izakhamizi zakhe. Akulo kwazi ukuthi u-councillor wakhe wabuya la iphi message ukuthi amanzi ahamba kulomgwaqo onje ongalunganga, kulama youth angaka unemployed. For example, one of the burning issues today koBulawayo or in Zimbabwe is the question of unemployment, one, and the question of poverty. U-councillor wakho uyakwazi ukuthi kulama youth amangaka eCountry Park wa-unemployed, probably uyakwazi. Oweselborn probably uyakwazi. And when you just don't know ukuthi bona what is their position on that, what action are they taking to mitigate towards those things. And you are most likely going to understand your councillor nxa epusha izinto lawo eziku-affectayo. But nxa u-councillor wakho kathesi epusha i-discourse yoku-rename kwama-street etown, you are most likely not going to have the interest on ungayekela lokuba mazi nxa engumuntu otshone ekhuluma ngakhonkwana leganga, environmentalist or epusha into ze-climate change, awusozumuhle. So kwamphana kuyi-mismatch between ama-issues ka-councillor lama-issues abantu, yikho okuyi-problem.
Angazi ukuthi ngikuthole kahle noma ngikutholanga kahle. So are you saying ukhulume ngokuthi o-councillor sometimes uyathola ukuthi ngumuntu lwanomdala ongazwisisiyo thina as young people, because
abatsha bakhona abantu abatsha, they are 30-year-olds in 60-year-old bodies. It's possible. Banengi bakhona. Abanye they get into a space, it's a space that is not neutral, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a tired space. Ungangena parliament, you do what parliamentarians do. Ungangena a council, you do what city fathers are doing. Apparently they are called city fathers. so kuloku yi-culture okumele kungenwe ngama-youth kwampana ku-representation bebe innovative and redefine the space so that it can
bayekele ukuthi sithi nxa sesifike ku-council ukuthi ku-council vela kwenziwa lutho lawe noma umutsha sufika la ugoqizana. I'm not saying akwenziwa lutho, I'm making an example. Ngiyakuzwa ukuthi you are burning Paida, ngikubonile ekhuluma ukuthi no ukhuluma something oyithandayo. Do you have something to say from what he said?
Yeah, I've got a lot to say. When I love the part when you say that a 30-year-old by age, but there's a 60-year-old to inspire that person, you know. What you ungahamba kodubu enziwa kodubu ahamba konje, like it's no rules, you gotta do it. Like what she said in parliament, you know, these are the things that we should outgrow as a youth. We are not supposed to live on we're not supposed to live on that old regime, the old routine that has been there, implemented and planted, harvested and still being harvested by the current people. We should take out that and live according to what is there in reality, because once a person gets in I was talking to a certain person today in the morning. We were talking about he was like, you know, if a person is contesting to be a councillor, yes, the person will be knowing the issues, everything that is burning, right? But soon as that person gets there, I'm a councillor, just like decades ago, like it's a heritage thing, a chain thing. I feel like we need to take that out. Because reality says that cutting his words again, the youth who are into social media, the youth who are into what is happening now. We are going with technology, you know. For instance, the curriculum yesikolo itshintshile. I say you made sazenze esikolo asizezakathesi. So labo heritage what grade 7, that's why I say 4 subjects. Now it's more than that. Technology is changing. Why can't we as well change? Since we've got my youth who are aspiring MPs, this and that, want to be in those places to represent abantu. You know, we should do it to change. Like the question you popped, do we know our councillors? Do we even know the roles? Because as it is, we only know, some of the youth, they only know which no councillor hambe emhlanganweni. Kuthi when akhulume so. All right, maybe 2 months passes or 3 months. Any feedback? Did we do follow-ups? Hi, this is a councillor bakhulume ngakho kuzanjani kuzaphela bathe bazalungisisa. We do not have that push. The way how activism asilayo angazi ukuthi ngakubeka kanjani ngani kulento eshotayo ukuthi push issues of service delivery, issues of disposal, you know, all those things. Sibona ama dumping sites aba maningi, but can we ama youth, especially us the girls, we want 50-50, right? We want to be, yes, we want equal rights. Sihambeni singabona issue, we identify an issue, let's go and report khona ngale council ukuthi kule problem enje. But I feel like kuleka kancane, but kukhona somehow, although amanye ama councillors they can't fulfill that due to the councillors' diseases that everyone adopts.
The disease that he was talking about, ukuthi ungafika ube ngukhansela sokumele udinwe lawe, you know. I understand what you guys are saying, but I had a question for you, and I'm glad ukuthi from your answer again, a question lena iyaphenduka. Kini as young people, do you blame young people for not participating? Because ukhuluma ngokuthi as young people, as girls, lathi sithi sifuna 50-50, we need to be active. But angisoze ngibe active ngingakwazi ukuthi kumele ngibe active ngaphi. So ngifuna ukuba kwazi ukuthi do we blame young people, or who do we blame ukuthi why are young people not participating in these things? Ukhuluma ukuthi thina sesiku social media, but izinto lezi azikho ku social media sizibona. So who is to blame? Yithi esingakwaziyo, do we blame lack of knowledge? Kumbe njalo lathi asila interest or siblame o-councillor bethu who do not come back to us ukuthi sibe kwazi ukuthi but nxa kulezibi kumele ngeke kubaba uNcube uCouncillor wethu asincedise. That's what I want to understand.
If I would say to blame, I was saying I'm condemning people somehow, but I wish I had a special word to use it. And as it is, there are amayouth abalesifiso sokubakwazana, but mboningani, yeah, i-councillor, it's 50-50, it's a scale, right? The council itself, it's not doing much on information discernment. Because what I feel is, I wish there can be awarenesses. Sisibone nje kuhamba imota i-announcer. The only time I heard imota i-announce about something that is about to happen, it was during i-vaccination yabantwana. And the other times manje zomsindo umuntu u-announcer something kuyabe kukhulunywa maybe kuyabe kule gig ekhona izibani is coming to sing yabo. There are good awarenesses lawana ama road shows whereby kuyabe kukhulunywa ukuthi umhlangano lo kulomhlangano obuya kuyabe kukhulunywa ngalokho lalokho, noma even no councillor kungaba lama meetings abakhona somewhere, i-feedback yakhe it's just calling sorry and so, or maybe vele uyakwanisa ukutshela abantu egroupini, then a few people will come. And it's not everyone who is in those groups for it. So I feel like it gap yona le. I can't say I'm blaming as well because I'm coming from the new point. They're not putting too much effort. There are resources, but resources are for certain things, forgetting it might seem like it's something silly, but it's not, because the way how they did share information on vaccination yabantwana or noma start COVID jabs laphana, it was loud. Uzapunguzwa imotikali siyangale ubona ama-pamphlets kusithi ubona ama-posters kusendwa, you know, all those things. Why can't they also do it kuma-meetings kuthi kule meeting enje? Because abamelanga bebe underestimation ukuthi no, it's just a meeting of my ward. It's something huge, because through that ward people voted them in, and others they're being nominated in ukuthi be represented by my councillors. Yeah, that's how I am taking it on the councillors' side. Although I appreciate the hard work that they are doing, you know, but it's good to take views from other people as well. And I hope we question on that on the councillor side and answer who's to blame. Then going to ask the youth, ufuna ukufunda, there is NAST, people go there to register, bafuna ukufunda. People go in different institutions ukuthi bafunde to noma to get what they want. Why is that so hard for us, the youth? So I'm popping up a question on top of a question. Why is it so hard for us, the youth, to have interest ukuba kwazi ukuthi kanti kana kwenziwa njani, kanti laphana kanti vele ewadini wethu kwenzakalani nje basengasebenzi njengoba kula lokho amanzi apho ngukhatho anytime. It happened at some point eCountry amanzi apho nguhamba kwatshintsha nje routine. What we knew is amanzi abuya ngeSunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday sehamba sesabuya futhi ngeSunday. It changed kwaba ngokunye futhi. I was like, no, I need to consult I need to talk to councillor lo. Ngakhuluma lo ward resident ukuthi kanti kuhamba njani, not he is going to give me the feedback. Unfortunately, I'm a very busy youth and tholakali every time endlini. So, but anyways, I'll get the feedback at home when I get there. So I was saying, why is it so hard for us, the youth, to ask the duty bearers? And why is it that us, the youth, we expect ourselves we think they are not that important, all because of mali phakathi. My youth sithanda imali, we hustle, we'll be hustling kuzazenza kodwa I feel like Latama youth we are lacking konapo. We lack interest. We lack engagement with black youth into zabantu abadala, you know. But thank you a lot to abanye ama youth who are pushing other youth to be part and parcel of my community activities. So actually, I'll be like, to some extent, it's a skill. Whom to blame? To me, it's to some extent both of them are to blame.
Okay, thank you so much. Caesar, do you have anything to add?
I think it's 50-50. I think counseling as kugcwele abantu abadala and bona I think bavelela ama youth phandle. Ama youth avalelwa phandle vele ngeke uthola umuntu noma ufumba ngikhansela so mina ngile 20 kumbe 22 nje bese kuthi lo ngumntwana uzakhulumana lo vela asoze elethe lutho so vele lokhona kuhle kusivalele phandle asisayenzi lutho sesichiyana lakho sithi hayi lokho ngokwabantu abadala thina silaka ndaba lakho sesiyekela bona besenza noma kule lento efuna ukuzibuza vele hayi sesichiyela bona thina sesizikhipha khonapho then uma youth lathi silokuleka sithi vele silandaba ngento eziningi sesithi hayi lezi zinto zabantu abadala thina sesiyazikhipha lapha vele asikho anyeke mina ngibonakale ngisiya kumbe kuthiwa kule meeting council anyeke ngibonakale ngisiyahlala labo gogo ngisiya ku meeting ngiyabe ngisiyadingana khona phana but ngiyabe ngifuna ukuthi izinto zilunge ngifuna ukuthi ingwaqo kube right ngifuna ukuthi ngithole umsebenzi but awufuni ukuzithola ngihlangene labantu labana abadala ngithi hayi lapha vele ayisikho lokho ngokwabantu abale 45 kusithi but khona pha thina siku same community sifuna izinto zishintshe.
Caesar, I'm of the opinion that ukansila nxa efuna ukuthi ngimvotele bayayenza boma Twitter space basilande ku Twitter basilande ku Facebook basilande ku WhatsApp left right and center. She talked about ilokhu nama jabs COVID-19 ukuthi bebekwazi ukuthi kube le ndlela aba communicate ngayo ezindaweni zethu ukuthi sibekwazi. So I'm of the opinion yokuthi why nxa umfuna ukwazi ukuthi ungidinge lapho nganthola khona but nxa usuthola okufunayo kimi awusabuyi awusaphenduki kimi angazi ukuthi wena uthini but I'm saying if you guys want us to vote for you, want us to register to vote and vote for you, you go all out with your campaigns. But now that we voted you, ususikhohlwa angazi ukuthi what you say. What's your comment on that?
Lapha angazi ukuthi phakathi ngale kusuke kube le influence enjani ukuthi umuntu wakhona engangena vele sehle khohlwa akasaphenduki vele umuntu wakhona akasabuye ezobuza ukuthi so laphana lalithe kunje so selifuna kuyenze njani angazi ukuthi nga umuntu sengenile phakathi ngale kusuka kube njani kumbe kusuke kutshelwe ukuthi hayi ngale lingasabanaki yini khonapho.
Mnumzana ngicela ukuzwisisa sebekhulumile ukuthi ngifuna ukuzwisisa ukuthi who is to blame ekuthinini mina lami la indlala khona to be honest phambi TV angimazi ukansila.
I think the question of who is to blame, I think everyone is to blame. Ukansila labantu bakhe because it takes two to tango ukuthi kugcine kubuye political culture yona le sesikhuluma ngayo enganayo desirable engekho desirable. It's a political culture that was created by two parties, that is the councillor and the people that he is serving, or whichever way ongaku approacha ngayo. So ekublameni abantu sonke kumele siziblame, but it doesn't end there. A political culture for a new one to be born, abantu who are responsible for that constituency or that ward need to be able to be at the front redefining the political culture to create culture ababona ngani could work for them. And in this case isikhuluma ngeculture yokuthi there is constant communication and consistent communication between abantu abakuward lo councillor. Ayikhona ukuthi ngesikhathi sama elections uyabumbona ukansila la uyabe kwazi ukuthi utholakala ku Twitter but after elections ka usambona sokudinga omunye sokungani izinto leziyana yokuthi uqalisa omunye gijimisa omunye and then no Tom and Jerry. It's not supposed to be like that. It's a culture that is not wanted. But ukhansila understand lapha. Ukhansila yena ule role okumele ayidlale for abantu abangaphansi kwakhe. Kule central government. The central government yelo MP. U-MP use-parliament, i-central government. And i-central government yelabo minister, kuyikho kulo minister of finance, minister of local governance, minister of industry and commerce, minister of youth. And yibo abantu who design ama-policies. Kuyabe kule policy kathesi, there is a policy to empower young people. Young people are being given business loans, young people are being given land, young people are being given opportunities to go to school and so forth. Zonke izinto lezi zenzakala within the context of the national budget that you and me contribute towards. Uke wathenga Coca-Cola, iVAT ihambile. Kuphenduka so national budget. Ukhansila wakho should be able to walk into the Ministry of Youth and say, what programs are you doing for the youth? Abuye ke nesezolidinga ethi i-Ministry of Youth lama programs ABCD abekwazi ukuthi kuwadi yami kulama youth angu-300 angu-20 asethola uncedo ku-Ministry of Agriculture, abuyele ku-Ministry of Finance ethi ayihiye kulama loans kubo Empower Bank, kulama loans kubo Women's Bank, kulama loans kubo SMEDCO, this ministry and the small to medium enterprises. All these things ukhansila wena kumele abeli organizer in making sure that you benefit. Uyayibona into yangikhona. So ungathola ukhansila ongekho active, ongafuni uku-understand ukuthi at the end of the day it's about making sure that your people benefit from national policies. Ukhansila oyabele ngqondo zokuthi maybe yena vele la ekakwazi engxenye kakwazi lokuthi central government iyenzani, kakwazi ukuthi landwa njani, kakwazi i-policy entrepreneurship. You need an entrepreneur, a policy entrepreneur, someone who can identify opportunities. So kungena ukuthi ukhansila wena unjani, leyo khansila competent. Nxa incompetent kufana lokurathi idonke efileyo ucabanga ukuthi zavuka ikudonsa, akula lutho luzayenzakala. So you need your councillor to be innovative, to identify and they are not only mobilizing towards the central government. Ukhansila uyakwanisa ukumobilize towards the private sector. Afika batshela ukuthi lina lapha lisebenzisa ama-resources ethu, siyalinceda, without us you are nothing. Create jobs for our people. Bebuye bezomtshela ukuthi we have 50 jobs for your people. So ukhansila kumele abe njalo. And ukhansila engayenza kumele akwenze. You will find you won't even have to look for each other because liyabe lihlanganiswa ngama-opportunities. Liyabe lingahlanganiswa yi-conflict as it is the case in some cases, rather in some areas, ukuthi ukhansila labantu kuhlangana sokuzinqindi kuphela. Kumele kuhlanganwe kusimayilwa and so forth.
I'm happy you're bringing that up indaba yokuthi kuya ngokuthi lani livotele umuntu onjani. I'm sure ukhulumela endabeni zesikolo ukuthi laye kutheni, and I've once attended i-Twitter space eyayikhuluma ngokuthi abantu laba esibavotelayo kumele, one of the qualifications I think kumele nxa umuntu simvotela, umuntu eranela ukuba ngukhansela, be it MP or whatever, sikhangele yini ukuthi ufundile kumbe kafundanga. Let me hear from the young people, but I want to hear from you ukuthi what's your opinion and why nxa usithi ufumela bengafundanga kumbe abefundile kumele isizathu sakho kumele sithi.
I think ukuthi sikhangele ukuthi kafundanga yini kumbe ufundile, I think akuqhakathekanga kangako. Thina simele sikhangele ukuthi yena wenzeni vele, kuyini akwenzileyo okungathi singathaba sibili sibona umuntu lo singamfaka kungaqhubeka sibili. Kulomunye umuntu uthi sibili abefundile sibona ukuthi yawulama plan lan but umuntu wakhona usengakufaka yini. So lapha thina simele sikhangele imisebenzi yomuntu ukuthi umuntu lo uyenzani, uyenzeni, ukuthi singamfaka sibili into le iyaqhubeka sibili ekhangela abanye abantu, ukuthi ekhangela abanye abantu besigaba ukuthi usengaba include yini, usengasihambela ezikhulumela ukuthi hayi naphana abantu ama-youth lawa adinga ukuthi kube le-recreational park, usengahamba izihambela. I think akuqhakathekanga kangako ukuthi sikhangele ukuthi okuqhakathekileyo ukuthi isikhangele imisebenzi yakhe ukuthi yena uyenzani emphakathini, lokuthi usenganakekela yini abanye abantu.
uthi yena kumele sigala ndaba ukuthi ukhansila ufunda kungakanani as long engumuntu people centered. I hope that's what you are saying. Ocabangelayo because uthi sengabe efundile kodwa akhohlwe enyanga athi Paida wena uthi
yeah, to some extent kamelanga abe umuntu ofunde kakhulu ongafundanga, because during kwangale iyakwanisa ukuqhileka phela bese kuyakwanisa ukuvuka something aqeleke umuntu aqeleke at the end of the day into adevele injongo yakhe, the goal that he or she wanted igcine ngasafezekanga. I feel like ukuthi kufana but yeah, because kufana lo muntu ukuthi I can, for instance, I did banking and finance, but so kungani vele into engayifundelayo, it's not something that I wanted. Vele ngapho ngikwenzela ukuthi nje okay ngiyaqhatsha ngifake lapha ngiyenze kahle umsebenzi, but deep down I'm not passionate about it. So something engilaki yabo. Yabona ngivela ngathi I'm doing something different. Here I am talking here, I'm not with my numbers and papers. So to some extent umuntu nje kodwa noma engafundanga abe nje lo lwazi academically ukuthi as a counselor, as a leader, la azihlome ngemfundo akwanise la ukuthi kwenzela kusasa if something pops up uzothiwa phela ngiwasayina la singabuyela back to history sathengiswa i-signature sasa umuntu wafaka i-signature, you see. So khonapho kamelanga abe umuntu othiwa yes lo we-masters udoctor abani but udoctor engekho passionate, engakwanisi ukusebenza labantu, abanye ba-rough, abanye ba-arrogant, abanye ba-ignorant, abalanda rude abanye. But no, kese ngihambela ndala abantu, I've got better things to do. You see how it is. So kuyamele kube umuntu ole-passionate, ezimisele, ekwanisa ukuthi engakhipha amagiqo for that person because ivote kamuntu lwana iyamfaka lapha akhona kathisa. So but yamele ebekwazi like ama-procedures, ebekwazi ukuthi as a leader azihlome information njenge-leader, how to be a leader, how to, you know, in decision making. At least everyone has got a mentor in everything. With Lama, I've got my mentors, 3-4 of them. So la yabe lo mentor la ngemva kwakhe ozamsiza ukuthi no lapha kuhamba so. Everyone is inspired by someone somehow. Thank you so much.
Ake sizwe kumnumzana uNcube senze njani? Simfuna efundile kumbe ubeke kangene manje kusasa, ufundile kafundanga as long as a people centered. Ukhuluma ukuthi sasayinwa. Omunye umuntu wasayina keva sawe ngenxa yokuthi kumbe isikolo sasingekho asazi history because angiyenzanga ngenzi heritage.
Akahle ngiqale ngendaba le yokuthi omunye wasayina, ngamanga ukuthi umzilikazi wasayina.
Wow.
Propaganda yabelungu which wanted to project black people as confused and to justify colonialism. He knew very well what he was doing and he signed to protect himself, to use one end against the other. But sipenduke ku issue yethu. Politics is a very serious thing. Kufana lokudrive imoto. How would you feel udrive ngumuntu sithi hayi vele kakwazi ukudrive but ka drive kuphela. Kumbe uhambe esibhedlela uyelatshwa ngudokotela ofundile uma ungafundanga hayi kazame. So politics, when you assume political responsibilities, you are making decisions that will affect people's lives beze bekufa. Your decision kathesi as a councillor will determine ukuthi umntwana ozazalwa esiswini sikamama uyathi efika kuya kulamanzi eclinic or not. And you need a councillor that can be able to discern abela khonoko. And ukhangela isikolo, it exposes you to how institutions behave. It gives you awareness ukuthi impilo ayipheleli ku village yakho. Kule Harare, kule World Bank, kule South Africa, kule SADC, kulanilani. Councillor wenu should be exposed to those issues. And without isikolo, you risk ukufaka umuntu ukuthi ivine lesifiso uzayehluleka, because it's about getting things done. It's not about ukuba sithi singabangane siyathandana singatshelana iqiniso. Ama-problems esesiwafeyisa khathesi are not ordinary problems. We are facing problems that are biogenetic in nature, abo COVID-19. You need to school, you need to be sophisticated. We are dealing with the unemployment which is unprecedented. Not as a result of ukuvalwa kwama-industries. Ama-industries ayavalwa because amanye are being made absolute by ama-scientific innovations khathesi. Ukuthi kule company ebiqhatsha abantu abangu-20,000 so kubuye irobot laba replace. And the councillor needs to have that view. He needs to be able to explain izinto ku-ward yakhe with an understanding of how he finds himself there. So nxa lingadinga ukhansila ongani laye uphandliwe, lizakhala lonke kule philosophical discussion yokuthi wena sihlezi lapha ubona umntwana eswimming pool uyagalula, wena uyakwazi ukuthi awukwanisi ukuswima, ungayeqela la uyakwazi ukuthi uzagalula ufe laye lonke longu-2, what do you do? Uyabona into yangikhona, awusoze uyeqele. So avoid ukudinga umuntu wokuthi liyafa lonke. Seek life, make decisions in a very rational way. Look for a councillor okwazi ukuthi uza kurepresenta kuhle, abisa ama-solutions that you need. And a councillor who is better placed. Uyabona, I will be very brutal and be very explicit. We exist in a world of networks. You belong to a certain network. Wena khathesi ukuthi ufike ebank uthola i-bank account uyenze nanje, it's a simple thing. But ukuthi uthola i-loan eza yakho umgwaqo, it's not a simple thing. And you need to counsellor who has those skills. Or ukuthi uyafika ethi Country Park now by population is the second largest township in Zimbabwe after Chitungwiti. The population of Country Park is equivalent to that of Gwanda and Hwange combined. That's how big Country Park is today. And ungakukhangela khonokho ukhansila kumele abe le ability yokuthi sesilabantu abangaka, how do we ensure that they have jobs? How do we calculate ukuthi these people have access to health services? How do we calculate ukuthi these people i-development kule zikole ezingaka, kule Country Park, kule Luveve High, abantwana abapasayo khwampane Luveve High lase Country Park for example, i-percentage yabo uthola ukuthi ku-10%. Where does the 90% go? No one knows. You get the idea. A councillor should be able to see those things, because izinto zenziyana abanye bazi-understanda ku-level esiphansi nxa abantu labana sebephenduka bezoba ngamasela, bezoba ngabohindi, bezoba. I'm not saying kule nto wrong ngokuba ngohindi, it's a good job. It's a very good job. But abanye may not be comfortable being that. Kuyabe ku-circumstantial ukugcina bezithola bekhwampana. So councillor ehambe esikole usungangena ungafundanga, but as you get into the council, enroll with the institution. Ama-universities that are open, Lupane State University is open. Even ungela form 4 ungela form 6 uyahamba la kuphela uyehlala ulalele khonokho abakukhulumayo. Yibo councillors bafunayo, ayikhona abangena le attitude yokuthi sizo bangodanda siqede silida abantu. It doesn't work like that.
I'm happy ngelast part ukuthi ngiyakuzwa ukuthi uthi hamba lawe lanxa asithi ke sungene lungakwazi lutho, but hamba lawe ube le knowledge nyana khonoko kutsho ukuthi umuntu uyanithola ngegalula aphinde la angena galule lapha. Because bengifuna ukukubuza ukuthi from this Twitter space engikhuluma ngayo, omunye umuntu wabuza wathi eZimbabwe eBulawayo wathi generally we are led by lawyers, but silama problems that we have. Silabo councillor betothola ukuthi uyabe lilawyer, uyabe nje lesikhundla sakho umbona ukuthi apha ubhuti lo wakhethwa for sure ufundile, because isikhathi esiningi people vote for someone laba bambona ukuthi ayufundile, but still silama problems. So
Emaloyeni khonapho uyabona i-profession, it has an effect on who you are. I love lawyers. I want to be a lawyer. Actually, I'm in the process of being a lawyer. But the weakness of a lawyer is that they want to win arguments and not provide solutions. So they derive satisfaction once they win an argument, and they will translate every social problem to become a legal problem. The constitution to explain izinto. Some of the things need innovation. and yiyo i-challenge esilayo ukuthi selilawyer ukansila wethu but kakho effective. It's possible to be a lawyer. Most of our problems are engineering in nature, if you look at it like this. And when ungafika ube lilawyer eCountry Park, khathesi izitishi swethu ziyadubuka, not because they are old, but because they were built with a population this much, and now the population is that much. Ungahamba eMakhokoba, for example, kwakuyindawo to keep ama-bachelor ayesebenza town. But today sokulabantu abafika bathatha abafazi sebehlala labo labantwana bafaka lamaloja. It has a net effect on the sewer system. But when you will be there calculating it from a legal perspective and expect to get a mechanical or an engineering solution, it doesn't work like that. So a councillor again, pastor is to be a lawyer or anything. As a councillor, you should be flexible. Now the lawyer see things beyond law. Kumele uconsult, uhambe kuma-engineer, akunike i-vision ya, uhambe kuma-political scientist, siyakutshela ukuthi is it feasible. Kulezinye izinto ezingekho feasible. Ungokansila subona i-problem ifuna 20,000 or 20 million to resolve. Kumele uhambise isicelo sakho ku-government phezulu, anjo. I-Ministry of Finance allocate phansi, anjo. Kulama scenarios where you need to consult ukuthi how do I package this? And again, ku-policy entrepreneurship, ungokansila, i-government ihamba nge-mantra yokuthi we're empowering businesses. When urana nge-mantra yokuthi social enterprises, it won't work. You need to try and be advised accordingly. Because if the government is spending on agriculture, it's easier to make money from agricultural products or agricultural programs rather. So okansila kwamphana yiko kumele engabe lilawyer, ungabe nxa uyilida ulida wonke umuntu, ulida amasela, ungulida ama-graduate uyalida, ama-vendor uyalida. You need to be able to bring all those people into one basket and be the leader of them all. Ama-vendor nxa ekubona kumele abone i-vendor. Ama-seller should not see a thief. Take that one correctly. You can't reflect everyone. You get.
I understand what you're saying. I hope the viewers as well. But in these young ladies, maybe balembuzo, or they have a comment from what you said. Any comments, ladies?
In addition, in ask as well.
Yes.
Addition to, okay, firstly, I learned a lot. Just a few minutes, I learned a lot about the signing issue and the whole, you just structured it into some legislation there when you was talking about lawyer, because yeah, you ain't led by lawyers, yes. So you don't mix with professionalism yabulayo that has got somehow a little something with your profession, you know. I've learned that with. That's why I said don't mix business with pleasure somehow. I don't know what I'm intending, but yeah. And then you know, Tina, I have a disability. Abantu abale disability. I feel like ukuthi asilalo ulwazi kakhulu. Sibalutshwane esi empowered to stand and talk, or to even register to vote, or to even know about councillors, or to even know where to report if this happens and so forth. So I also have a question that was eating me up when she was calling up, which since I have you guys, you can help me on that with it. Tina, as people with disabilities, how can abanye? I also want to learn how can abanye bami to get more information, because as it is, balutshwana abantu abale disability who are known, balutshwana abantu abale disability who are active, ezintweni eziningi, who can even stand on themselves, balutshwana. Abanye, of course, we see them. Umuntu uhlezi la uyacela, but okay akaboni, but ulo assistant akwazi ukuthi noma ngamnika $10 xa sothenga amatamatisi emode lapha athengise. What's lacking? Yebona ngani abantu asizobethengi ngendlela because of ngendlela akhangeleka ngakhona. What is that? And how can abantu abale disability be included ezintweni eziningi? Singakwenza njani? How ukuthi bazaba khona njani labo kuma spaces abanye abakhona noma to even be able ukuthi si reach a certain destinations. Issues of transportation zahlupha kwabhalwa petition concerning transport, but that it wasn't that awuzange kwaba powerful kakhulu. So I hope ukuthi you guys will help me on that, on issues ukuthi as people with disabilities, like how can we get included as in. Thank you. Yeah.
My biggest question now is, are you guys able to rate your councillors? And can you rate the work of your councillors? I think you told us what are the roles of councillor. I guess you are given a platform so to rate your councillor. My mic, rate mine.
Okay. 6 out of 10.
I understand when you say 6 out of 10, but I want to understand what has he done? Okay. 6 out of 10.
Okay. We've got road issues, and few people like visiting Culture Park for the reason of what people complain about their cars, even the mabasa handiswa a Culture Park awazuko. They are old cars and buses are kudala lawan because of the humps, the umgwaqo awuyenzi wesizulingana vele ama-accidents are unavoidable. The issue of that, the issue ukuthi he doesn't fully communicate with people. Information yakhe abakwazi ukuyidisseminate ngendlela eyiyo, because Culture Park it's one of the hugest townships. He said it well to me and lami ngiyakwazi. So abantu baningi information ayifike ebantwini bonke, yikho lapho anganalekha khona. That the things that he has been doing, our council that he has been doing are very large, because you know how it is to have 1,000 of people looking kuwe ukuthi sikhangele wena, yabo ulama responsibilities amaningi, and mangikhangela okuningi kwangikhona like ama boreholes, so lama boreholes esikolo sokulani uyazama ukuthi ekhavise lapha ama-gaps abe khona, although ngiyakwenze konke kayi-one. Sometimes it might be issues of ama-funds, lack of resources, yabona. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, Councillor we-Culture Park lapho uzakuthanda ngoba abaningi uma usola but uphinde umshayisa size so forth.
Yimi laphana izibi nyake vele zigcwele eceleni lapha duzana lapha enhlala khona zigcwele, kuyajikelwa azake simbombe vele asikwazi ukuthi ngubani. Then imigwaqo yilama potholes, kumbe singathi maybe ukuthi Zimbabwe yonke vele sinjalo. Kazi yena kumele asifakele lokho ama street lights laphana asithi enye issue ukuthi ungaba amanzi sehlupha acha 1 week engekho, thina asizwa anything from him, uthi from umuntu angikhona uthi esitshela ukuthi hayi maybe kathesi amanzi umfula laphana ulalutho, kumbe ama-pumps adubukile. Phongo ubona 1 week yonke asilalutho, sesithwala nzima ukudinga amanzi. Ayibho laphana kula futhi eduze asitholi lutho. So thina I think uyalekha la kumele a-communicate lathi ebhode esenza imisebenzi at least buthi izibi ngale, ngoba vele akusekho right, akukho yodwa kujikelwa yonke into.
Okokuqala kumele siqale sibe bathi bakho councillor bethu. Ngicela ukuthi empendulweni yakho mnumzana ngifuna uku-understand ukuthi how do we rate i-success or ama-weaknesses ka-councillor yethu, ukuthi sithi u-councillor lo asikuniki 6 out of 10 like Paida said, uthola i-10 out of 10. simnika kanjani. Empendulweni yakho futhi ngicela ukhulume kulo Sizothu ukhansila wakhe kamazi nxa engamazi, because asingathini yena ukhansila kabuyi, what are you doing wena ukuthi ube mazi ukhansila? So ngicela umphendulele umbuzo ukuthi ukhansila wami mangifuna ukuba mazi ngiyenza njani, kumbe nxa ngilezi khalazo ngimthola njani, lokuthi simrate njani ukuthi lo successful lo hayi wehlulekile.
Khona ukurate kwe-councillor is a very complicated thing to do. I wouldn't want to be found rating ukhansila, especially ngaso-councillor wami. Mina ukurate umuntu ngizamrate ku-ballot box. Yikho lapho engikwanisa khona ukurate ukuthi umuntu uyenza kuhle or ayenzi kuhle. But ukhangele Culture Park ukuthatha ama-stocks ka-councillor wena, it's very simple. Kwakungela clinic esikhona. That's a huge development. Imigwaqo yayibhedi but iyalungiswa, and amanzi high issue but something is being done. Those are the things that you need to use to rate your councillor. As well, umrate communication availability. Ukuthi nxa amanzi engekho khona ukhulumayo uyasitshela yena ukuthi wayengekho, abe lathi asitshela ukuthi simelele kuze kube nini. Yizi izinto ongarate ngazo councillor. And Culture Park is a very fortunate constituency even at MP level, because they have a candidate, for example, who is a professor of economics. And Culture Park problems are now sophisticated. Some of them need to be nationalized. You ever heard of something called declaring something a national disaster, where it has a legal effect on resources being channeled towards fixing that problem? That's what Culture Park needs. And I'm glad you have, for example, Professor Teddy Ncube campaigning there. Yes. Those are people who are better placed, for example, to solve the problems of Culture Park, because they have the political muscle, they have the economic muscle, they have the academic muscle to understand those problems. So, ngokunye kumele kufake into perspective. O councillor wenu, I understand kulo councillor as well. La councillor kumele limkhangele on that level ukuthi is he better placed to deliver? But most importantly, umuntu nxa elento afuna ukukwenzela yona kayibhale phansi. Athi mina ungamvotela ngo-2023, ngo-2024 wena uzabe usulapha, ngo-2025, ngo-2030 kuyabe sokuyi-upper middle income economy. Uyakwazi ukuthi ku-upper middle income economy ngihola above between $400 and $2,000. Yizi izinto ezifunakala, things that are measurable. So a councillor must have smart policies. Policies that are measurable, that are clear, and so forth. Singafuna ukurethana ngobungane ne-political party lan. Be very clear, kabe kwazi alitshele nzakhe isibhedlela, nzakhe isikolo, nzakhatsha abantu abangu-50, nzayenza so. Then bese libuyela kuma-ticking box, lithike. Then sungabuye uthi 6 out of 10. Not ukuthi uthi 6 out of 10 from nowhere. Well, uthi 6 out of 10, wampromise into ezingu-10 wadeliver 6, therefore ku-6 out of 10. Kumele nxa engakupromise, abanye bazatshaya 1, it's possible. Abanye futhi batshaye 0. Amabizo silawo ayahlupha kuphela.
Simthola njani ukhansela? You have not answered that. Ukuthi ake sithi mina ngimazi. But la yuthi beke awundini.
Councillor, I don't want to speak on behalf of the council. I'm not a representative there. But I assume go website here council, they should be able to provide such information, and as youth we can just go online. But not only that, hand housing office uyebuza ukuthi councillor walapha ngoba and utholakala njani. Ule office housing office. Wonke council ule office housing office. Or somewhere ule office kuward yakhe. So dinga yona leyo office uyemthola council. As well, inamba ka councillor i-public. He is a public figure. I'm a journalist, understand. The journalist they pick a phone that says the minister lim roster. The same is true with council. The number is public, email is public. Lencwadi songambhalela ku PO bag or PO box. All that information is public and it should be disseminated. Ungaba kule information gap that has to be addressed, and it has to be addressed by both parties, the candidate and the voters.
I hope kuningi esikufundileyo ngomsebenzi kaCouncillor. Ukhulume ngokuthi ukumrate uCouncillor kumbe ukubona ukuthi usebenze kahle kakhulu. Kumele sibone imanifesto yakhe, sibone lokho asithembisa khona mhla simvotela, yiko ukuthi sibone kahle ukuthi for sure usebenzile kodwa ngifuna ukwenza lokhu kube clear mina ngingumntwana welokishini. Mnumzana nxa udoti ungathathwa njengoba echilo amagetsi ayahamba thina vela sisawazi la enhlala khona kungelamanzi imigwaqo ama-clinic kulamanye ama-locations okungela clinic othola ukuthi kumele siye ku-clinic yeyinye i-location. Siblema ukhansila ngoba siblema u-MP. Ngifuna ukuthi sizwisise kahle khona ukuthi okhangele izinto ze-service delivery ngukhansela kumbe ngu-MP.
Okhangele izinto ze-service delivery ngukhansela.
Singakhulumi ngabo-MP.
U-MP uyaphiwa i-budget nxa sehleze eParliament. I-budget liyanenzwa ngomnyaka kule ministry okuthiwa yi-Ministry of Local Governance. Accept ama-budget from ama-local authorities, DCC, HCC, Gweru, what. Ama-budget ayenziwa ngabo-councillor benu. Then i-budget liyani national budget iyadisperse imali thula. And balama-projects abawenzayo, iphepha lamanzi ungalikhangela kule mali oyibhadalayo e-refuse collection. Uyibhadala emhlahlandlela kumbe city council. So abe-city council baba responsible, i-central government ayikho. U-MP uku-central government. Ulama issues le ndlela la yabuya ngayo ku-constituency, but as it relates to service delivery, labo amabhimu lezinto zenezi eziku-grassroots level ngo-council. U-MP uyabuya but kumele basebenze ndawonye, but u-MP enguyophezulu, u-council enguyongaphansi, because u-MP usebenza labo council abaningi. I-constituency labo council abaningi. U-ward ilo council oyi-1. So abantu aba-responsible for refuse collection, sewer systems ngu-council. Yi-council authority ephansi.
Ngiyabonga, bengifuna ukuthi kuvele sobala. Singahlali sithi u-MP wethu kanti kumele sithi ukhansila, singathi ukhansila wethu kanti kumele sithi u-MP. Ngiyabonga, I hope we learned a lot from this. Ngizwe young women laphana besithi no kukhona okunyade engakwazi esengekufundile. I hope as people we now understand ukuthi on issues of service delivery ukhansila wethu nguye okumele ukuthi siye kuye njalo ukhuluma ngokuthi nxa simdinga kule website ye-council lapho singamthola khona. Bengakwazi lokho ngokwephepha lamanzi ukuthi kulibhalweni, angaze ngibale, I just pay imali zamanzi njengesakhamuzi. But ngiyabonga ukuthi ngibuye sizofundisana about ukhansila, ama-responsibilities ethu, how do we track the work of our councillors. Ngiyabonga kakhulu abalaleli ever uwathanda ama-shows ethu. Please don't forget to subscribe ku YouTube The Girls People, subscribe and like if you want ukuthi ubone nje umsebenzi esiwenzayo The Girls People. Sile Twitter handle _girls, ku Instagram cb.girlstable, then ku Facebook The Girls People. So siyabonga thina The Girls People, siyabonga. I hope we gained a lot. Ukhansila nguye okhangela indaba zethu The Girls People. Ngiyabonga kakhulu. Bye, siyabonga from The Girls People.